Ladies and gentlemen, today was the day that Hunter Biden's ex-business partner, Devin Archer, went before the Republican House Oversight Committee and testified before Congress about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's business dealings. The Republicans have been talking this up for a long time. This is supposed to be a big deal. This is supposed to be the smoking gun that Republicans have been waiting for to really nail Biden. But surprise, surprise, not really surprise. There was no smoking gun, and it's really it was very underwhelming. So before we watch any clips of the media talking about this, because those are hilarious, we just need to go over a little bit of background. So we have two articles here, CNN and a New York Times article. Biden spoke with son's associates, but not about business, former partner says. Republicans accuse the president of lying, while Democrats said the testimony of Devin Archer, who worked with Hunter Biden, showed that his son was selling the illusion of access to his father. President Biden met with and spoke to his son Hunter's international business associates on a number of occasions over a decade as Hunter Biden sought to drum up consulting deals, including while his father was vice president, his former business partner told Congress on Monday. However, in nearly 5 hours of closed-door testimony to the House Oversight Committee, Devin Archer, the former partner, asserted that the elder Mr. Biden was not party to any of his son's business deals and that Hunter Biden had tried to sell the illusion that he was providing access to his powerful father when he was not, according to Democrats on the panel. So basically, this is just a really big way of saying that, Hunter Biden was trying to use his dad's name and his name as a Biden to, drum up business. And I think that technically, I don't know if there were any laws broken when that happens, and there are things that allow people to, use their name. People, nepotism, people use their names to get into places of power, positions of power all of the time, and I don't agree with that, and I think that you can criticize someone like Hunter Biden for that, but if they did not break any laws, then we can't sit there and say, well, we're going to impeach Joe Biden for this, but nothing illegal took place. Here is Greg Gutfeld. Here is Greg Gutfeld saying that, well, all of this stuff that's happening right now, it's only because they did it to Trump first.
Remember when the media and the Democrats always focus on Trump, they compare him to the mafia. Remember, he talks like a mafia, Don, blah, blah, blah. And then you always find out that whatever they accuse somebody of doing, it's what they're actually doing. And of course, nobody ever talks, concretely about what they're going to do in the mob. They use, metaphors and little, they just don't say they're going to kill you, Katie. Although I've thought about it.
This is a pizza shop.
Yeah, exactly. But this is part of the thing that we predicted, that there would be investigative ping pong. The Dems were warned that everything you do to Trump will be done to you, because if you have the power...
Sounds like a politically motivated investigation, does it not?
...and you abuse it, then there's going to be payback. And it's like as an American citizen, it's like you hired a mechanic, an electrician, and a plumber to fix your house. And instead, they're like arm wrestling in the basement. That's what this has become, because you're just going to have two parties constantly doing this until the end of time.
So my favorite part about that clip right there was Greg Gutfeld saying that Trump, they called Trump a mobster, they said this and that, but in reality, it's really Joe Biden that's the mobster. Number one, no. Number two, there's a lot of, I don't think mob is an appropriate word to use. But I can name you a lot of things that you could definitely call, mob-ish that Trump has done. One of the things that I really think you could definitely say, he's a mobster, is when Trump and his kids literally stole money. They stole money from a charity that was supposed to give money to kids that have cancer. They literally stole cancer money from fucking children. You guys can go and look up that story for yourselves. I don't have time to go over all of the details in this video, but that's just one thing that I can name that Donald Trump has done, and his family, because his family is very much involved in all of his shady business dealings, much like they try to allege Joe Biden is with Hunter Here is Representative Andy Biggs, who is a prominent, outspoken Republican, coming out of the closed-door meeting with Devin Archer, and literally saying, I don't really, it wasn't what we were hoping for.
Can you talk about the bribe at all? The $5 million bribe?
He didn't know anything about it.
He didn't know anything about that?
No, in the Kim 23, he didn't know anything about that.
So for those of you that didn't hear that, someone asked him specifically if Joe Biden, if they knew, or if Devin Archer, knew anything about a $20 million bribe, and he says no. He did not know anything about that.
Can you talk about the bribe at all? The $5 million bribe?
He didn't know anything about it.
He didn't know anything about that?
No, in the Kim 23, he didn't know anything about that.
Do you think today's testimony made it more likely that the president should be impeached?
I think we should do an impeachment inquiry. It's a different animal, but I think we need to do an inquiry.
Thank you.
Mr. Biggs.
Yeah, he says, I think we should do an impeachment inquiry. Again, they don't have any evidence. They don't have any grounds to actually impeach Joe Biden. The thing that they're really running with here is that Joe Biden was on speakerphone while Hunter was talking to these business people. And again, they're not really saying laws were broken. And before we actually watch this last clip here, the House Oversight Committee chairman, James Comer, who's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. He released a statement earlier today. He released a statement about Devin Archer's testimony where he says, why did Joe Biden lie to the American people about his family's business dealings and his involvement? It begs the question, what else he is hiding from the American people? And when I read this first part, why did Joe Biden lie to the American people? Joe Biden has said that, he wasn't involved in Hunter's business dealings. And to a degree, that is true. Again, no laws were broken, and if there were laws broken, then I absolutely do believe, again, if there were laws broken, I'm saying if because they have provided no evidence of such. If laws were broken, then I think that whoever broke those laws needs to be prosecuted. But when I think about someone lying to the American people, other than, most every single politician, really, I think about Donald fucking Trump, who has sold our country out so many different times, okay? This motherfucker stole classified documents and said that he did not have them when he had them. The National Archives people hit Donald Trump's team up and his lawyers and Trump. They were like, yo, you have stuff that we need back. And he signed an affidavit. He signed an official court document that said, I don't have it. It's not here. Then National Archives said, well, we know it's there. They raided his place. He was stupid enough to tell the public that his home was being raided. Mar-a-Lago was being raided. Trump. And it's just like when I think of somebody lying, I think of Donald Trump. I think of Donald Trump lying about something stupid like him paying a known stripper, adult performer like Stormy Daniels, campaign money, lying about having an affair, cheating on his wife. When I found out that he lied about that back in 2016 or whenever, I immediately thought, what a weird fucking thing to lie about. What else? What else is Trump going to lie about when he's lying about something that's, insignificant, really? Not insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but compared to the rest of what Trump has done, then the damage that he did while he was president, quite insignificant. We have one more clip here. Of Rep. Dan Goldman, who is a Democrat, who came out after the meeting, and he had some words.
Dan Goldman.
Joe Biden to any of Hunter Biden's business dealings as a private citizen or otherwise. It was abundantly clear, and the witness stated unequivocally that there is no evidence in his possession or his knowledge that Joe Biden ever discussed business with Hunter Biden. Joe Biden ever did anything on behalf of Hunter Biden's business interests or otherwise, never changed official policy in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, the only evidence that we have is to the contrary, which is that even though it was perceived by Burisma that they had the Prosecutor General Shokin under control, quote unquote, that Joe Biden advocated for his firing, which of course was not coveted or desired by Burisma and would potentially be bad for Burisma.
And there you have it. This guy sat in on part of the meeting. He was actually in this closed door meeting. And again, you know, no evidence. They provided no evidence of laws that were broken. You know, there was the smoking gun. It just doesn't exist. And the Republicans have been constantly saying, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. Moving the goalpost farther and farther and farther. And then this was supposed to be the end all tell all. But now they didn't get what I'm assuming they very much wanted. So now we're going to see where they want to move the goalpost next. Because you heard Andy Biggs there. He said, well, we're going to impeach him. We're going to impeach him for, you know, not doing anything, calling his son on the phone. That's literally what they're impeaching him for. It's funny because Trump says that they impeached him for a perfect phone call. Not a perfect phone call. One of the most corrupt phone calls in the entire history of the world. Because he deserved to get impeached for that. Because you cannot ask a foreign country that you have already promised aid to dig up dirt on Joe Biden's son, on your political rival's son, and then say, well, if you don't get me the dirt, you're not getting your aid. You can't do shit like that, okay? And that's why Donald Trump got impeached once. He got impeached twice, and they're literally trying to impeach Joe Biden for nothing. That's going to be it for the video. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. One more thing I have to mention here, just really, really quick. There is an ABC article that covered this entire thing, and I'm not going to go over all of it, but the coverage in this ABC article is laughably fucking awful. They are really framing the issue in the most disingenuous way. They pretty much are making it seem like Joe Biden was involved with Hunter's business dealings. You really wouldn't know exactly what was said or what the people that sat in the meeting said. Devin Archer, the witness who testified, said, if you read this article, because it's literally just, I really don't know what's going on with this article. So if you come across this article, stay away, steer clear of this article because it is absolutely fucking awful. Like button, subscribe button, press that bell, turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.